Haven't lived in Canada for around 8 years and 20 something years in mainland China and Hong Kong. Today, I want to share with you my honest experience and thought about living in these two countries, what I like the most living in China and living in Canada in comparison. If you have lived in these two countries, you can let me know my impression, especially of the Canadian or North American culture in general. It's correct. First of all, there is no perfect country or perfect city to live in. Living in each city has its own pros and cons. I was so fortunate that I was able to spend the best time of my life in both the Eastern and Western culture. The cities that I have lived in are Guangzhou, Vancouver, Toronto, Hong Kong, and Tagbilaran in the Bohol, Philippines. I love all these places, and so far my favorite would be Hong Kong. But today I will only compare mainland China and Canada, as these are the two places I have spent the most time in. The three words I pick for China are cultural, family-oriented, and hardworking. China is the country that has 5,000 years of rich history. We have an absolutely beautiful culture ranging from ethnic group, food, language and dialect, architecture, costume, traditional medicine, festival, and so much more. China is not an immigrant country, so we are not multicultural like Canada, but we are diverse within ourselves. We have 56 nationalities, and I am from Hanzu, or the Han nationality, which takes up 90% of the population. And we have another 55 minority nationality, which are less well known internationally. So moving forward, I'm planning on making more culture related content, which is something that I enjoy doing and something that I'm very good at. In Chinese culture, family unit is viewed as crucial elements of the society. I often feel that the well-being and success of the entire family is placed above individual desire and ambitions, which comes to a major contrast to the individualistic culture in Canada or North America. Some family values in China include what we call 孝道, which means take care of and live with aging parents, which I think are less common in the North American culture. The third word that I picked to describe China is it is a very hardworking country. I think that's mainly because that we have a huge emphasis on achievement. So we have the 996 work culture derived from this. It stands for working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. And no matter what industry that you work in, whether you work in a corporate job, you are doing your own business, or you work in agriculture, you can see that everyone here is so dedicated at their job. Even younger children and adolescents are very hardworking academically. Canada is an immigrant country, so it's very rich in ethnic and cultural diversity. The Canadian government has a strong commitment to inclusion of multiculturalism, gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, religion, and so much more. And the second word that I picked for Canada is individuality. Canada values individuality and personal freedom, allowing each person to express themselves and pursue their unique identities. Where I feel in China, more often we try to fit in. The love of nature, being the most scenic country on the planet, not only Canada has the most beautiful landscape on earth, I could also feel that people in Canada has a deep connection and respect to the nature. In Vancouver, for example, we can own a piece of land, but if we want to cut down a tree on the land that we own, it's illegal without any valid reason and the permission from the government. I could feel that the bond people have with the nature is so deep and they try so hard to protect their land. And now let me share with you the things that I love the most living in these two countries. The first one will for sure be safety. The Chinese government has put a strong commitment in maintaining public safety. Cities across China have implemented surveillance systems that include extensive use of surveillance camera and facial recognition technology. I would just feel so safe going anywhere and go out any time of the day. The second thing that I love about living in China is efficiency. China is a society that values efficiency so much, and we can tell from its economic growth, its e-commerce infrastructure, its transportation, its digital payment, and it makes life here very convenient. I remember there was a time I needed eye drop, at 10 p.m. in the evening. So I just ordered on phone and it got delivered to my home in just 30 minutes, even at the night time. The third thing that I love about China is its food. Chinese food might be the cuisine that has the most variety. I think China is a place that you can come and eat at the purpose of your trip, and it just offers so much good food at such a good price. I don't know if I will live in China forever because I also want to experience living in different places in the world. But these are for sure the aspect that I will miss about China so much if I do move away in the future. I have spent around 8 years living in Canada. So the nature is for sure something that I miss so much about Canada. I'm a very outdoor person. I have the perks to live in Vancouver, which is the city beside mountains and oceans. It just makes nature so accessible. So food safety would be my second thing that I miss about Canada. Every ingredient just feels so organic, and sometimes we are able to find wild food while we are hiking in the forest. The last thing that I want to share is Canada. It's a pet-friendly country. Being a dog parent myself, the difference between how friendly people are to pets in these two countries really stands out to me. Canada has very robust law that protects animals from neglect and harmful treatment, where in China we don't have that. We don't have any national level law that protects domestic animals. In many Canadian cities like Vancouver and Toronto that I have lived in, they have numerous pet-friendly spaces, such as in public facilities, restaurants, trails, and they are all available for pets. And these are less common in China, and there's so much restriction. So personally, I do hope in the near future there will be law that protect the animals. But that's just me being very selfish because I also understand that resources and time is very limited and they are tilted toward issues that are more urgent, such as well-being of elderly. That's all for today's video. If you have ever lived in China or Canada or live in the Eastern or Western culture, please feel free to share your experience because I think it's very interesting to see the contrast between Eastern and Western culture. Moving forward, as I mentioned earlier, my channel may focus on content that's more culture related. It is for sure something that I will enjoy sharing, and let's see how it will turn out. Thanks so much for your time today, and I hopefully see you next time.